Mike, I saw you joined.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Good. All right, well, we are here right at 2 o'clock. Thanks everyone for joining Together Tuesdays. My name is Kevin Vogel. I'm going to be your host today. We're going to be walking through a couple of things here in talking about specifically Microsoft. And I think you'll get a lot of information that hopefully you guys can use to help better take advantage of your Microsoft investment. Today, Melissa Mintz is on the phone with me, as always. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Melissa? Hello? Make sure I'm talking here. I am.
Look like she dropped.
Oh, okay. Well, then we won't worry about that too much. Sorry about that. She's usually pretty good. And then I got a new member to our team, Mike Doyle, and Mike's going to be walking us through our team captain workflow, which I think for those of you that are looking at ways to govern your team's environment, this is going to be a godsend to you. So Mike, say hello.
Hey, Kevin.
Good. At least I got you on the phone, so that's good to know. So here's what we're going to be covering today. What's new in Microsoft Teams? Now, luckily with Teams, there's always new things coming out. And, our job is to make sure, first of all, that you understand all these new releases, how they can affect your business, how you can use them to really take that next step in Teams. And then, like I said, Mike's going to cover Captain Workflow, which is a great tool to help govern the availability of creating teams inside of Teams. So it gives your people the ability to request teams, and it also automates the deployment and everything else. I think Mike does a great job at showing you how this is going to work. So let's get on to what's new in Teams. I couldn't start one of these what's new in Teams without talking about Microsoft Viva, because it is all of the buzz around Microsoft. And if you take a look at a lot of their advertising now, they're starting to talk about it all the time. Two of the things are actually out right now. Connections, which anyone that has a SharePoint license can enable connections, Viva connections, inside of their environment. This will allow you to really integrate your SharePoint environment with your Teams environment, make it seamless to the end user. And like I said, as long as you're running an E1, E3, E5, you're running any of the M SKUs, the business, SKUs, as long as you have a SharePoint license, connections will be available for you. In fact, we're just actually turning it on here at Sirius. We should have it on, sometime this week. A lot of times I have to educate them on what's coming out. But Insights is out and available and ready for use inside your environment. In fact, if I go here to my Teams environment, and I'll turn this on, you could see that I have Insights set up and running inside of my Teams environment right now. And it's really easy. I'm just going to go get rid of this tutorial. I don't know why it shows it every time. But in here, you can go to the Insight Home. And this is, take a break, spend a minute on breathing. How are you feeling today? But here's the part that I really like. Here's the people that I'm working with, things that have been either assigned to me. I can say, you know what, I finished that. I'm done with this. I can actually let people know where we are. I can set up meetings right from here. So it gives me a lot of insight into what's going on in my environment. I can also go in here and protect some time. A lot of people get booked back to back to back in different appointments and really have no time to be able to go in and focus on their job. So as you can see, I've already set up a couple here at 10 to 12 and 11 to 1 of some focus time for me. I can go in and book some more time if I need it. I can show my available times. And the way to do this, to set it up in your environment, all you have to do is go to the apps, go over here, type in Insights up here at the top. Come on. Oh, there it is, Insights right there. And I already have it in here and installed, but all you'd have to do is install it in your environment and boom, it's up and running, and it will start learning, because Insights is a dynamic environment that will learn based around your Outlook calendar, based around what you're doing inside of Teams. And it really is a helpful little thing that you can throw in there, no charge, doesn't cost anything, and you can plug it right into your Teams environment. You can move it up in the stack if you want. So very easy to deploy Insights into your environment without ever having to make any adjustments to your subscription. It's free. It doesn't cost a dime. So just something I figured I'd show you here real quick, because Viva is, you know, the big thing out there. So if we take a look right now and we look at Insights, you saw that it does deliver personalized and actionable insights. So it will empower both individuals, teams, and organizations, giving you the balance that you need, giving you better work habits, and really making recommendations on things to do. And it's based around what you're already doing in there, and it learns over time. So I think you'll see that, you know, as you use Insights, it's just going to get better and better. It will impact the way that you guys actually have your business with data. And that's, you know, something that Office 365 does a great job. I don't know if you use analytics in your companies, but part of Office 365 analytics actually shows you, you know, how much time you're spending working with others, how much time you have to collaborate with others. It really is a godsend. And this is just like the next step in analytics. You can use advanced tools and data sources really to perform deeper analysis. Once it starts gathering all of this information inside Insights, and you can go in and configure it, build it into your teams, and actually start making actionable items right out of Insights. Like I told you, communications, this ties right into your SharePoint community, and it really does encourage people to make meaningful connections inside the organization where they have like interests inside your environment. It also gives you the ability to contribute to that environment, whether it's on your phone, in a tablet, on your desktop, doesn't matter. You can actually pull this information right in from Teams, and it aligns your organization around a single vision, which really is the purpose for communications and culture. And they are, like I said, available today. Now, the other two that are coming out, the learning and the topics, both of them will have a cost behind them. They are coming out. I believe topics is going to cost $5 per user. I'm not exactly sure what the learning, I haven't seen a pricing on that yet. But as it comes available, I'll make sure that we bring it up in our Tune In Tuesdays so that you have those availability. Now, one thing that I do, and you guys should do, is take a look at your help inside of Teams. And I'm getting this information, just so you know, right out of my Teams client here. Hold on, let me go back in to Teams here. And under help, what's new gives you all the announcements on everything that's coming out in Teams or really already been released. So it's a great way for you to see what's coming out. Like, for instance, share an email from Outlook. I don't know if you saw this, but inside of Outlook, if you go there, I could go in here and click on Tony's email, and I could actually share it to teams. Very easily go in here. It's going to allow me to pick one of the teams that I belong to. I can go in here, and here happens to be teams practice here. So I could go in and share this. I can include attachments in here very easily. So great way to take an email and actually share it inside of Teams. Now, of course, you can always go into your Teams environment, go into that channel, and actually get the email address and email directly into that channel. So you can get emails in there a couple of different ways. Nice little click of a button in Outlook, or grab your email address here and forward that email right into the team. So it gives you a couple of different ways to do that. One of the things that people don't take advantage of here in Teams that I always like to point out is underneath chat. If you're trying to get a hold of someone, let's say Lisa right here, who's actually busy, if I want to make sure I want to talk to her, you can go in here and actually notify when available. So if you click on that, whenever Lisa goes out of her busy mode and goes into the available status, I'll get a little pop-up here on my screen that tells me Lisa is available. Then I can go ahead and call her. I can do a video chat with her. I can just chat with her in Teams. But it's a great way for me to know when she becomes available inside of Teams. So just figured I'd let you know a couple of things that are in here. You can also, I don't know if you take advantage of the Meet Now that's available to you in Teams. If you go inside your calendar, there's a Meet Now command where you can do that. There's also, you can start team meeting instantly inside of Outlook now. So inside of Outlook, there's a Meet Now button also. You can do a recap now. So the meeting participants who couldn't make it can review a complete meeting, and it actually does recordings and transcripts and chats so that it can be shared out amongst all of your people. So you can see all of these things are available to you right now in Teams, and they just came out just March or February. They're not really that old. So go and take advantage of help inside of Teams. And if you haven't taken advantage of the training that's available underneath help, it's a great way to keep your people up to speed on what's happening inside Teams. And they're all small little snippets, less than 3 minutes, where you can go and see working with channels. It takes 1 minute and 45 seconds. Creating a plan in Planner. If you guys want to start using Planner, it's 2 minutes and 5 seconds. You can even go to the topics here and learn how to run a meeting, or how to do a live event, or how to collaborate now with people. So all of this is available right here underneath help in Teams. And all you really need to do is take advantage of it, because it's there for you to do that. So if we're talking about Teams governance, this is where Mike's going to actually come in and do a quick demo for you. So Mike, it's all up to you.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Great job. Hey, everybody. Nice to virtually meet you. Again, I'm Mike Doyle. I'm one of the MessageOps specialists here at Sirius. I'm going to show you a little bit about Teams Captain Workflow, which a lot of our clients had to really drive pretty quickly into Teams, obviously with the pandemic. And what they've said to us is, we've had to just kind of let people roll out Teams at their leisure, and now we're kind of wanting to take a step back and understand how we can better govern this, clean it up via audits and things like that, and really automate the process of, like Kevin mentioned before, for an end user to request a new team, the approval process, and then actually deploying a team. So let me pull up and share my screen here, and I'll actually walk you through a demo and what tools we use. Which is great is this is a combination of Microsoft Forms, Teams, and then this is all built on Power Automate as well. So you should have access to those tools given your current licensing. All right.
I stopped sharing, Mike, so go ahead and share your screen.
Yep. So let me know when you guys can see it.
I will let you know. I've got nothing yet. Oh, here you come. There you are. We're good.
I see it too.
All right, great. So essentially, what we've created here is an ability for an end user. So I'll be Mike Doyle, the new finance director for an organization. And what's great is, being that this is Microsoft Forms, it's really just a link. So you can create, in actually Teams, you could come up here and select a new team, which will pull up the document for the end user to fill out. And we have a number of questions here, but based on your requirements, this could be one question, it could be 10 questions, right? This is all fully customizable. But you could drop the link, if you prefer end users to go into something like a SharePoint to request a new team, you could put that there as well. So Mike Doyle, the new finance director, wants to create a team that he can collaborate with his peers. So he would click on new team, and you would basically fill out the document very quickly. So finance team, you'd fill out a description. I'll just put finance. What's the business need or justification? Collaboration with peers. They would type in their email address. So Azure, or actually CSG, Azure.com. Do you want to make this a public or a private team? So I just want to collaborate with my peers in finance, so I'll go ahead and make it private. Do I want members to be able to edit team features, add, delete channels, tabs? Let's say I want to keep this pretty locked down, so I'll say no. Do you want the members to be able to edit or delete messages? Sure, why not? So I'll make that true. And then what type of team is this? For the sake of the demo, I'll keep this as generic. But what's great is, we can work with you to create templates. So you could do departmental level templates, however you want to set it up, where, let's say it's an executive template or a finance department template. When the team is actually deployed, we can deploy it with permission settings already pre-configured, which is great, which saves you, the IT administrator, a lot of time, but also eliminates any chance of us forgetting to set a policy or a setting that we want to have in place.
You can even have pre-installed applications in those templates and everything, right, Mike?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can lock down, this team can, they can't share externally. They can't invite external folks outside the organization into the team. Here's the applications they're allowed to have access to. So again, really great way to add some additional governance to the environment. So if you notice, it took me all of 20, 30 seconds to fill this out. So now Mike Doyle, the finance director, hits submit, and he goes back to his day being productive. Now, when Mike submits that, what happens is you'll see in the IT approval team, which you can have this be an IT approval team. Some organizations have said we want to have multiple layers of approval. So this could go to the CFO first to approve, and then go over to an IT approval team, or it could just be one layer, however you want it to be. So if you see right here in the middle, again, this is all built leveraging Power Automate. The IT approval team gets the request. They can quickly read, okay, when it was created. Okay, this is for the finance team. And Mike wants to collaborate with his peers. Sounds simple enough. So take you, the IT administrator, or the information security team, whoever it is, all of 10 seconds to read the request, and you say, okay, makes sense. You can add comments, go ahead. I can type really well. And you hit submit. And now you're back to your day. And what happens right now is, since we approved it, the automatically provision the team for you, which you'll see up on the top left here, if y'all can see where it says finance team. Just that quickly, the team was created. And again, if we leveraged a finance department template, this will already be pre-configured with settings and policies, like Kevin mentioned before. So what's great is now Mike Doyle actually gets a chat sent to him directly. So if you see up at the top left, so Mike gets a chat sent to him that says, your team has been approved. So now I can go into my team, start inviting members. And, again, this was an all automated process. The end user experience was super easy, very quick. And then the IT administrator had to take, a couple seconds to read it and approve. But you're not actually having to go in and to, build these teams out one by one as they come in. So this will put a lot of time back into your pocket. So
since you guys use Power Automate for this, Mike, if you didn't want this all in Teams, let's say that you wanted an email sent to his boss, his direct boss, you could customize this Power Automate to do the approval any way that you guys want, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of Power Automate, so this is the workflow that we've created with all the steps. So again, you could come in here, we could work with you to, if you wanted to have 2 layers of approval, we just simply come in here and configure this to how, your organization's requirements work. The whole process of getting Team Captain workflow into place is a professional services engagement, very affordable, and we spend some time with you helping you set this up to your business's requirements, and spend a couple hours with you showing you how to then take it on as part of your day-to-day process. One other thing I wanted to show you, I guess before that, did anyone have any questions, comments on the tool that we can answer for you?
I do not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's it's great. It's super simple to deploy and to manage, and it's going to save you guys a lot of time. One thing, I don't know, Kevin or Stacy, did you want me to actually show the Team Captain dashboard as well, since we have a little bit of time left?
Yeah, no problem. In fact, just to mention something while you're doing that, Mike, you do need at least one pro license for Power Automate. That's one of the things. I mean, anybody can use this. You don't have to have a pro license, but to create this and customize it and change it in your environment, there's one pro license for Power Automate that you have to own. It's a $15 a month license. Just want to let you know that there is that cost involved.
Yeah, that's a great point, Kevin. I appreciate you bringing that up. So are you all able to see my screen? I switched over to another browser.
Yep, we can see it. Looks great.
All right, perfect. So this is Team Captain, which is a tool within the Inscape platform. So for any of our CSP clients, this is something that you have access to. But if not, this is also a solution that can be purchased on an ad hoc basis. So again, another way to help our clients that are having issues with team sprawl and just want to get a better governance around the solution is Team Captain dashboard. So essentially, we've curated your backend team's information into this really easy to consume dashboard, which is going to show you the total amount of teams you had. So at Champion Solutions Group, you'll see there was 308 teams, and then you can see active versus inactive. Now, this is all fully customizable. We set our policies as for everything at 30 days, but you can make it 10 days, 100 days, however you want to do it. And you can drill into all of these, which I'll show you an example, but just to run through the dashboard really quickly. So here's active versus inactive. Now, Champion was acquired by Sirius back in December, so it makes a lot of sense why we only have 6 active teams versus inactive. But this is a great tool for you to quickly come in and run an audit on your environment. Let's take a look at these inactive teams. Are they something that we want to delete the team? Because as you all know, anytime you create a team, there's a lot of implications on the back end. SharePoint sites are created, et cetera, which can add to complexity. So what's great is we can quickly allow you to identify those inactive teams. This is integrated with Active Directory. So I'll show you how you can just simply hover over a user and it'll identify that end user's manager, peers, so you can assign that team to somebody else because we want to have our teams managed, right? So you can also archive a team to SharePoint so you can keep that data if you have those sort of retention requirements, but also get that team off the books. Again, just simplifying management, reducing complexity. We'll show you public versus private teams. One really neat feature a lot of the clients liked was this external sharing. So if you had like your CISO or whoever said, I want to know what is being shared in this team's environment, especially externally, instead of having to go through 308 teams, you can quickly drill into this. We'll see the 8 teams that have folks sharing documents, links externally, and actually see what they're sharing. So if it's something that's appropriate, great. If not, you can actually click a single button and break the link so that someone can't come back in and access that again. We're also going to show you internal versus external users. So, this was a little bit eye-popping to me just to see, we had a lot more guests than internal users. And it makes sense for our organization because, doing a lot of professional services, we create teams to collaborate with our clients. But again, you could see who are those guests, and then are those appropriate or not, and then take actions based on your requirements. We'll also show you orphaned accounts. So this is a huge one because an orphaned account still has active members, but it's not being managed. So again, we want to have these teams being managed so that all the governance isn't all on IT. Rather, the individual supporting that team, we want to make sure that they're doing their part as well. So again, you could drill into the orphan teams, determine if we want them to remain or not, and then quickly reassign those. We can also show you archive teams, and then the monitored means that team captaining is monitoring it. So you have the option of just auto enabling every team to be monitored, or you can set them up, if you wanted to only do private teams or public teams, however you want to set it up. So I'll actually drill into a little example of what this looks like. So what's great is we have these filters on the right-hand side. So you could search by a team name, you could search by the owner. So let's say, Chris Pyle left the organization for whatever reason, and we want to see what teams he was the owner of. So, okay, we'll see that he was the owner of these 5 teams. We can then drill into the team, and this will show you some data on the actual teams. Are these private or public? This is an inactive team. It's orphaned. We actually give you a direct link to the backend SharePoint site right here. So let's say that there's no activity in this team, which you can actually see here. So last activity unknown, but this would typically be a date. So if you go, look, this team hasn't been used in a year. Do we really need this? We can delete the team, or we could go over, if you look at the top right, just simply click archive. We'll archive the team. So if you want to keep that for any retention policies, but we can get this team off the books or reassigned, which is great. If there was any external sharing happening, you could click on external shares. It'll show you the name, when it was created, and then who it was shared to. So let's say this was a document that had some proprietary information and it was sent to someone's Gmail account. We can then break the link so that individual or anyone else can't go back into it. But then, that's someone that you could reach out to and kind of, investigate why they're sharing, critical information outside the organization. As I mentioned, this is tied into Active Directory. So Chris Pyle is no longer here. I simply hover over his name. Active Directory is going to show me that Mike Baker is his manager, and you could simply promote them to owner right there if you wanted to keep the team, if it was still activity going on. You'll also see, what department that this is a part of. So Chris Pyle is an executive. Again, you can pull a lot of this data through multiple backend, admin portals for teams. But what we provide over the native tools is that we actually give you departmental level views, being that tie into Active Directory. So you can see the members of the team. You can remove them really quickly. You can add someone as the manager. As Kevin alluded to before, we can show you which applications are being used. So that's basically what it looks like to drill into a team. And then just last thing I'll show you really quickly, I know we're coming up on the hour here, is the settings, which again is fully customizable. So you can hit it, auto enable monitoring, or you could set it by yourself. A really cool feature is just automatic archiving. So if a team has been active for more than X days, in this case 180, but again, look, you can go up, you can go down. So we could take, if you want to archive teams for retention purposes, and you can automate that process as well. And what's great is, we enable you to notify the owners via email if their team's becoming inactive. So, hey, do I really need to keep this team? Looks like we started a new one that most people are using. So a great way to quickly audit teams that you can remove or archive. We can send you an email that shows you who in our team has been sharing externally. So again, you can take a look at what they're sharing and see if that's appropriate or not. We use a tool called SendGrid. So this is a free tool. We show you how to sign up. And then, basically you can create a communication thread of who needs to be notified of what's going on within the team's environment. So happy to answer any questions, provide a personal demo at another time. If you had any additional interest in the team's Captain workflow as well, happy to help out. And I hope you guys found this to be a valuable demo.
Mike, thanks a lot for your help here today. And I think they got a lot out of that, at least I did. Just want to let you know what's coming up later this month. Next week, we're going to be talking about the new desktop client for Power Automate, what Mike was showing you earlier that we used as part of the Teams Captain workflow. We're going to look at the retail store opening using Power Apps. We're also going to, later on in the month, look at Azure Cost Review, and that's just becoming really popular with our people. It's built into Inkscape. We're also going to look at the benefits of Azure Sentinel and how it can alert and manage your environment in Azure and even outside of Azure. And then at the end of the month, we're going to take a real deep look at ATP and Defender and then review the Inkscape training platform. So as you can see, we've got a pretty good lineup here coming up over the next couple of weeks. We do want to open it up to questions in case you have any. We'd be more than happy to answer them. I guess not. I guess we're good to go here.
No, thank you, guys. This is Bob. So I don't have any questions at this point. I don't know if Martin or Hope.
No questions from me. Very valuable. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it is it was excellent information.
All right. Well, if you guys need help, you know where we're at. We'll be more than happy to help you. Obviously, our success managers like Melissa's always here. Mike and myself, we'll be more than happy to help you. You guys have a great week.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.